Hey gorgeous, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a quick and easy summer makeup tutorial, and I'm going to do my best to stick with the more affordable brands that I've got laying around. With my tutorials, I try to not only stick with more affordable brands whenever possible, I also try to stick with colors and products that you may already have, and not just that, but colors and products that you could easily replace with something else. And I always try to offer alternatives, so we will be talking about that throughout my video today. As I generally try to stick to one area per video when I'm doing tutorials, that is. And usually I'll just focus on, say, eye makeup or cheeks or what have you, but today we are going to do a quick once over of cheeks, eyes, and lips, and we're going to be talking. I've been keeping an eye on what's coming up in trend for this summer, and I'd like to go over all of that with you. So I think we're going to get started with some quick contour and bronzer, and we'll start with the cheeks. Alright, darling, we are going to get started on the cheek products, and well, it's summer, it's time to get your glow on with some bronzer and some pretty highlight, and we're going to start with the bronzer and contour. So I know a lot of people use cooler colors to do most of their contour, even on their cheeks, but being that it's summer, it's time for them warm tones, baby. So I'm going to start with my IBY palette that I got with my BoxyCharm, and I'm going to use the middle contour color. It's a warmer bronzer, and it's a nice matte bronzer. Put some on right underneath your cheekbones and just kind of make a little line. And we're going to be blending that out. You can also use bronzer as a blush. If you don't feel like throwing a bunch of color on your face and you want something simple, quick, and easy out the door, just blend out your bronzer a little bit, and it adds just a little bit of color to your cheeks. I'm going to stick with the cooler tone, I believe, yes, number 3 on my IBY palette to do my actual contour around my face. I'm going to continue to use my Jumbo Kabuki fan brush from Crown, but you can definitely use just about any other brush for this. Just go around your face a little bit towards the bottom. This kind of helps shorten your face a little. And I don't really do a heavy contour, but I do throw a little bit on there. And I feel like that little shadow really helps kind of shorten up my face and frame it, because I do have like a long, thin face. This definitely. And girl, because it is summer and I want to warm up my cheeks just a little bit more, I am going to go in with my Too Faced Sun Bunny Dark. And it's a really pretty bronzer. It does have a little bit of a shine back to it, so I wouldn't use too much, and it's very dark. So if you have lighter skin, this may not be the color for you, but there are plenty of like warmer tone bronzers out there that will work for. I want to contour my nose with contour number 1 from my IBY palette. It's kind of a lighter, almost more of a neutral bronzer, and I think it works really well for contouring the nose. I'm going to use my little paddle brush. It's nice and stiff and perfect for making a little line. I just got this little rose gold set here from Amazon. Girl, 15 bucks, and these are killer. If I can find it, I will link to it in my description. Just put a little line on the sides of your nose. If you have a big nose like me, this really does help. And before we move on, I forgot to show you that I carved out my jawline with the highlight number 2. It's more of a lighter banana color. And all you gotta do is make just a little line in between the jawbone contour and your cheekbone bronzer. And just wipe that baby off. Alright, honey, next we are going to talk about cheeks and blush. I feel like this year, like coral pinks and peaches are really hot, and they're here to stay. Also, they are like some of the more universally flattering shades on all skin tones. And we've gotten a lot of those colors in our beauty boxes this year. This is the Manna Kadar Paradise Blush. And this is that Emma New York blush that I got from Lola Beauty Box last month. If you don't have either of these, you can definitely find like a coral or a peach colored blush at the drugstore, no problem. I know that Maybelline and CoverGirl both make one. Not sure about my two favorites, Elf and Wet n Wild, but I know that CoverGirl and Maybelline do. But for today, I'm going to use my Glamorous Blush palette from BH Cosmetics. This palette is really affordable. It's about 10 bucks. And you get all sorts of colors in this little palette, from like purpley pinks to more skin tone and almost bronzery colors to the bright, beautiful reds. And I mean, these three right here, girl, they are pigmented and dark and bright and just, ooh. But today I'm going to stick with this one. It's more of like a corally brick color, and I think it'll look really pretty on my cheeks. So we're just going to go in with my favorite blush brush from Luxie, and I'm going to throw just a little bit. Woo! What did I say, girl? $10 blush palette, look at that. That's insane. So yeah, definitely tap this really well and just start throwing it up on your cheeks. I start towards the back and kind of pull it up front, and then if you are having a hard time finding your cheekbones, just smile when you're putting on your blush and it makes it so much easier. Right, now that I've warmed up my cheeks and I got a nice little flushing glow going on, I would like to move on to my highlighter. Now I usually do my highlighter right at the end. It's pretty much the last thing that I put on my face. But since we are already on the subject of our cheekies, we are going to do our highlighter. So I really feel like obviously gold and peach is always going to be in, but I think gold, especially for it being the summer, I think gold is going to be really big this year. But I feel like blue is going to be big this year as well. Not just for highlighters, but also for eyeshadows and lips. A lot of companies came out with blue-toned products this year. Tarte, including one of my favorite brands, Wet n Wild. Here I've got the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. It's a limited edition color in Lilac to Reality, and it's a really pretty blue highlight on the outside and like a almost like a champagne-y green on the inside and this little heart. So we're going to start by throwing some of this blue on our cheeks, and I'm just going to kind of mix them together a little bit. You don't need much. I was fooled the first time that I tried these. Like, I dug right in because it's pressed so well. Girl, you don't need much. So you just kind of throw her on wherever you like your normal highlight. Ooh, see? That's blinding. Even since I'm actually going to take a gold highlighter, and today I'm going to use another BH Cosmetics product. I'm going to be taking the gold highlighter from the Carly Bybel Deluxe Edition palette, and this is probably my favorite gold highlighter right now, even over the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. This is just so pretty. And it's affordable, so what better? Now, this stuff comes off like really super easy, so be gentle going in. I like to kind of tap it off just a little bit. And since we've already got a highlighter down, we're just going to throw a little bit on towards the middle and bottom of where I put my highlighter. A little bit more of this gold, and I'm going to just rub it on my nose. And see, that came up really easy. I'm just going to rub it down the bridge of my nose to give me a highlight. Rub that in really well, or you're just going to have like a streak of highlighter on your face. And put just a little bit on the tip of the nose. Now we're just going to take a little bit and put it on the top of my lip here at the Cupid's bow. I like to go down just a little bit past that. I feel like it kind of outlines the lips just a little bit, especially if you plan on using a liquid lipstick. Alright, girl, we are going to move on to the eyes. Now, for this, you can definitely use alternatives. You don't have to have these palettes or these particular colors. And I'm going to go in with my Morphe 35OM. It's just a matte, warm tone, neutral palette. And I'm going to start with a more skin tone color to kind of cover my eye. And I'm just going to go in with a lighter color to kind of give me a base coat of powder to keep the other colors from sticking and dragging. It really helps. Next, I'm going to go in with a brown color. Now, of course, if you don't have this palette or any brown eyeshadows, you can go in with your bronzer or one of your contour palettes and just use one of the bronzers there. So I think I'm going to start off with a lighter color, and I'm going to go in with this. This one's very similar to, say, Contour 1 and 2 from my IBY palette, and I'm just going to throw some of that in my crease to brow bone area. And I give it a little bit of a shading going on here before I throw some darker colors in my crease. Next, I'm going to go in with a darker brown. I'm going to use this one in the very bottom right corner. Left if you're looking at your palette, right to me. So I'm going to go in with this and just put some closer to my crease and maybe blend it out just a little bit into my crease to brow bone area. Just take a smidge and start putting it on the outer corner of your eye. If you don't have a diffuser brush of any sort, which is what I'm using today, you can definitely take a tapered blending brush or just a regular blending brush and throw it on. This is what we have so far. As you can see, I've got a little bit of that lighter brown up top with some of the darker brown on my outer corners, and I just blended it out into my crease to kind of soften that a little bit so it's not such a stark dark line on my eye. Now we are going to throw some color in on this. We're going to move on to the lids, and I'm going to crack open my Wild and Alluring palette, and we're going to use a blue from here. So as you can see, one of them fell apart, and that's unfortunate because it's one of my favorite colors ever. But today we are going to be using this. It's a really pretty, like, reminds me of like an ocean turquoise blue. Check this out, girl. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm not a huge fan of blues. I don't think they look very good on me, but this is such a really pretty color, and it's got kind of like a silvery shine back to it. So I think this is just awesome. And we're going to throw this all over our lid. We're going to make it super easy. Baby, I got that beautiful blue shadow on my eyelid, and it's a really pretty baked blue. I love it. Super shiny and sparkly. Well, I'm going to take my diffuser brush and that darker brown that I just used for my crease and outer corner. I'm going to throw a little bit more on the outer corner to kind of give it a little bit of a nice summer smoky eye. Just a little bit, not much. And just kind of blend it in and out. Now that I've got my liquid eyeliner on my lid just how I would like it, I'm going to go back in with some of my matte tones. I'm going to go in with a lighter brown, just like I used up top, and the darker brown on my lower lash line to smoke it out a little bit. And I always recommend going in with a lighter color first, just to kind of help the darker color blend out a little bit. In with that darker brown, and I'm going to stick to the outer edge of my lower lash line, and I'm going to tight line that as well as much as possible, just to kind of keep it near my eye line here. My eye line. So I kept that darker color to the the outer 2/3 to half of my lower lash line, and I feel like that just really pulls the whole eye look together. So of course we got to go in and highlight our inner corner and our brow bone, and I'm going to go in and do that with that gold highlight that we used earlier. I think it'll go well with the blue that we are wearing. And just throw some of that bad boy on the inner corner. Ooh, girl, it really makes it pop. I feel like throwing a lighter color underneath your brow line just kind of shapes it just a little bit more, and it kind of brings out your eyes a little bit as well. And we are all done with the eye look, the nice blue and brown summery eye going on. So now we're going to move on to lips really quickly. So of course it's summer, and right now everybody's coming out with super bright colors. I know y'all saw me test out this purpley pink from Kat Von D and this bright pink, like bright pink from Tarte. And you could totally get away with those this year. But if you want to play it safe, some nice like dusty pinks and berries will totally get you through. Lip crayon from Trestique in Belize Bordeaux is a really pretty pink berry color, and it's been one of my favorites since I got it in my Ipsy last fall. This is the Ciat London in Pinup, and it's a nice dusty rose, but it's got a little bit of a dusty berry color to it, so this is a really nice one. And then of course, y'all know I am hella obsessed with the Cakes Lip Fondant in Low Key because it's a really nice, I don't know, it's just one of those colors that could totally work for everybody. But if lip colors aren't really your thing, girl, glowy glosses are in right now. So I got this Cargo Cosmetics lip gloss in Umbria in my BoxyCharm last month. But right now I'm super obsessed with this NARS gloss in Orgasm. It's just such a really pretty like golden coral color with like this gold copper shine back to it, and it's so beautiful. But if you do not pick these up in Sephora Favorites kits or beauty boxes, they are kind of pricey on their own. So I'm going to show off some of my favorite Wet n Wild glosses. These are all metallic glowy colors, and I just love them. You can definitely find them at the drugstore or on wetnwild.com. And I'm going to throw on the rose gold today, actually. Not terrible for a $2 lip gloss, I'm just saying. And it tastes like vanilla. It's so yummy. All right, darling, we are glowing and ready for summer. I hope you enjoyed my quick and easy summer tutorial, and please let me know down in the comments how you like this look, and if you have a request for a summer look or an idea, I would love to do that for you on camera. So just let me know. Meantime, I've got a lot of awesomeness coming up for you. I think tomorrow or Thursday I will be posting my new giveaway, and definitely check me out on Instagram or Snapchat. I will have that information down in the description below. But for now, you know what I'm about to tell you. Go out and spread some love today. Spread that positivity. Be good to each other, and I love you. You're beautiful. Mwah. Bye, everyone.